Greetings. Join us. Not so great background. Still experimenting. Cats are here. Let's see. Oh, there's a. Whoops, it's backwards. There's a tail there. So I got this the salt lamp finally here. Probably going to change the background tomorrow. It's a little bit less hospital looking. The blinds or the cats just slam into those things all the time. They broke 3 of them already. And they move the rug. I have like this real pretty decent sized rug and they move it. I don't know how they do that. So yeah, move it over and then they move it back. So multi-talented. All right, so yeah, so I wasn't sure how this background was going to look at night, and it's not looking so great. So eventually I'll have the cat picture here or have something here. So experimenting, so it's just going to be a little bit back and forth on it. So tonight is Reality Shift, Paradise Timeline, and Yahyel. Haven't done the Yahyel in probably years. It's been a while. So Reality Shift, felt that September was this whole mandate thing with they might be able to fight it, which most likely. Either way, September seemed like it was a hot month. Like technically, it is in that regard, but a lot of things have been shelved. So we are kind of on I want to say a paradise timeline. Well, some people can be on one if they want to be, and others have to go through what they need to go through. So, but yeah, I'm not selling a paradise timeline, but things are improving, at least behind the scenes. Because we're not seeing total chaos at this point. Of course, a lot of what happened in Afghanistan has been covered up. So it just goes on and on. So it's it feels like tomorrow's 9/11. Oh, excellent. 15 minutes is 9/11. I guess it's the 21st anniversary, I guess. But I think things are just going to be, of course, there's going to be things going on, but just a calmness either way. The crypto market, I just feel the crypto market might get a little more active for whatever reason. But either way, we're going into, and I'm not really sure where we're going into. It's calmness. I'm not seeing chaos. There might be some places where there's chaos because you had the riots last year. Of course, Europe might go through their own kind of crisis, possible, for protesting things like that. But we're definitely in a shift of where we're going more into a lot of what's being done here is working. It feels like, for a more positive new Earth. It feels like it's in motion. So it always has the vibe of again. Not to say things are going to be perfect. Remember December 21st, like everything's supposed to be just awesome. We're just walking around with candy cans all day, whatever the hell that means. I don't think it's going to be like that, but there's going to be chaos in some places, of course, but we're still going into more of a positive reality shift from what it feels like. But once again, not everybody's going to experience it. If you don't experience it, doesn't mean you're bad or anything like that. It's just where we're going. So, all right, I'll take my bad background and we'll continue with this. I was hoping I couldn't think of how this is going to look, but at least we're making some kind of change. I was going to put a poster in the background, like a big one, but I have to figure out where to get one because everything's online nowadays, so it's no fun. Michael's used to have a bunch of stuff, but apparently not anymore. Those days are over. So I'm talking to we have private sessions. We have the shop here. Oh, maybe we don't have the shop here. I forget what I'm on. I'm on what I was on yesterday. Still pretty behind. I'll catch up tomorrow. Same situation here. What is this webinar? Social network, behind the scenes. Thanks. So, so reality shift. I just cut it to what's the main timeline. Yeah, something like that. And paradise energies are connected to. I felt there are Arcturians with that. Could be a Palladian frequency. Let's go by what I feel on that one. And then the Yahyel. Yeah, I can say we haven't channeled them in a long time. Yeah, yesterday the God consciousness came through. That was quite different. Usually it doesn't show up like that, so it was needed. So, of course, this is needed too. So, okay, all right, blessings. Here we go. Greetings to you. We are the architects of your reality. It is up to you to decide what is being born into your realm. Well, buildings are put in certain places because of the frequencies of also those who are going to be living in those places has already been decided. And so people that find a certain place to live, they're attracted to it. Now, you're there sometimes to heal the frequency of the building or to magnify it. It is used for different reasons. Some buildings are used as weapons, and some are used as light. So New York City just has a lot of fights among itself. You have people kind of, yes, people that are in love with each other, but also people that are fighting with each other. Well, buildings do the same too. Just neighborhoods do the same, just not in the way that you would see it. Especially to see some buildings decay and falling apart, because it has to do with the frequency that they're built with. Of course, a lot of your elite energies are not as strong as they used to be. Your elite put different types of statues and different type of hallmarks on buildings. You see a lot of that deteriorating over time. Yes, you have certain structures that are being torn down right now, slave owners. But what about those that are enslaving humanity? They put their symbolism everywhere. Why is that still there? So there's a lot of soul growth that's needed on your planet. You're unlocking different dimensions. Why you're doing so is seeing the elite that are running your world and to turn off their control mechanisms. Of course, society has a long time to digest who's controlling the world because they're too busy angry with themselves. Some aren't, others just ignore the situation. Of course, you have the news pundits that are there to keep people confused in a loop. Many of you here to change that loop, and more continuing to occur. Basically, the third dimensional frequency is not over yet. Oh, you still have a ways to go, but it's basically us allowing the light body to activate itself. And also to allow more positivity to connect with you if you wish. We can build up more and more and more of a higher frequency agenda. Not necessarily an agenda, but experience. Some of your gang warfare, some of those are programs. Some of those are holographic people. I know that sounds a little bit strange. But you'd be surprised. In your reality, everything is sort of a hologram, sort of. You're still living an experience. This is all real for what you are, but there are those that everything has a consciousness, so even a hologram can have a consciousness. A clone can have a consciousness, as you know. As a holographic person, yes, it's not easy to handle conceive for yourself of what that would even look like. There's many of them here, though, that are implanted on your world. They look normal, they sound normal, they have normal frequency patterns as a human, but they're not. They're just there as like hollow souls. We've heard this term before. And there's many of them. It's not necessarily the normal, we call it normie, because spiritualism gets attacked by these individuals too. They go everywhere. And yes, they have a certain task they're here to do. But as in your shift of vibrations, you'll see more clearly, especially with bosses, even coworkers, possibly. As you're going to this is a major shift of realization of what's here. A wake-up call. You're having one now with your president currently, and there's much more to go into. So much more, as many of you know, the rumors of your underground bases, of course, will be discovered when it's necessary. Some of you are there now, of course, in another parallel version of yourself. Also, those of you that have parallel versions of you, some of them are there that keep you going. You might be living a difficult life. We have other versions of you that are connected to you, that are keeping your head above water, as difficult as it is for some. But reality shifting, yes, is basically the consciousness is ready for something new. And it has been ready for something new, but it has not been allowed to interact with your world for obvious reasons. Well, those that control your reality obviously lower the frequency levels to make you think a certain way. And then they're hijacking society. So you're opening up. You're not going by the control system. So a lot of the third dimensional energies are allowing more of a nature energy to come through. Basically, nature will change its frequency level. It will look different. Some of you might even talk to trees and a tree will talk back. Maybe not in the way of an animation, but almost similar. Just in due time. But there's a lot of Archon programmings here that's being reversed, and it just takes a moment. It's not something you want to rush. But many of you come here, you might not feel like you belong here, but you are decoding reality. You can say deleting the program slowly within yourselves. Greetings, we other Arcturians. Blessings to you. Paradise timeline. Well, it means that many of you have graduated from the hardships of life. Not entirely. But basically, some of you are bypassing many of the tests that was necessary for your growth on multiple levels. So yes, the third dimension is a kind of like a medicine cabinet. A very large one. What does the soul need? And yes, there's good things there and there's bad things there. It is up to the individual. So some that get caught in drugs and alcoholism and all, yes, the Archon frequency, that's where they can take control of your life and send you where they want you. So many are going to be probably more careful of these type of things. Well, because some people that do alcohol, they disconnect their soul from their body. You might not see it, but it's just that your soul operates differently. Of course, it all depends on alcoholism. The more alcoholism, the more you are floating and going nowhere. Controlling those around you or whoever it might be. So the energy shifting here is quite fascinating. Some of you have been on worlds on like the outside of the planet. Like practically sitting on the planet. I know it sounds strange. And looking down at the world. Energy shift. Yes. Maybe not to that extent. We are capable of anything. There's also another way of looking at your versions of yourself is like they appear on your hand being standing there looking at you, other versions of you from other realities. Because as you evolve, more of these other versions of you and will start to become more prominent when the time is right, of course. Because you're unlocking third dimensional belief systems. So you're going outside where it's been called forbidden. Space is forbidden, as some of you realize. But how many of you are living in space as it turns out in communication? Not many. So why space is now there's different versions of this story. Why? Well, it has to do with yes, Anunnaki, presence, one of them. Reptilian, but most of Anunnaki basically they want to learn from this world. You can say some of the Anunnaki actually destroyed themselves so they can be part of spirit realm connected to humanity, learning in a different way. So some just have difficulties learning as an alien being, but as a spirit being, it's much different. Which probably many of you, because it's less heavy, depending on you. So the paradise timeline is what you want. Of course, many do want it, but some of you are working, doing things beyond your contract level. Obviously, it's not a message for everyone, but many are here for a change. And most of that will start to become more clear. As third dimension becomes less physical for some of you, it'll still be there, but won't be as strong. So, you've probably heard this before, but it's slowly happening to many more than usual. You'll still be part of the physical form to a certain degree, but you'll be able to see through it. It's just not as strong as it used to be. It's being recoded. Not deleted, just recoded. So this is just happening soon. That's all we can say on that. So greetings. We are the Yahyel. Yes, we are instant manifestors. Of course, what we manifest is always the most positive frequency. Many of us are here shifting in vibrations of just being ourselves. And yes, of course, our vibration usually continues at a higher level than, of course, humanity, but even other alien beings. Of course, we accept our flaws and so we continue to go about our day, shifting their frequency levels on so many different levels of just, it's like we're bringing in sun energy from our worlds to kind of clean up the mess, of course. The echoes of human suffering is with us strongly. As the Yahyel beings are always scanning the Earth's vibration. Who can we release from this realm that you're in right now, but willingly to go? So those in a kind of like a matrix, similar. But basically, those I want to awaken, we bring them to people that where they can awaken too, of course. So our frequency levels are, yes, unique, as where we can be a sun energy very quickly, but also go into the moon very fast also. Which is that Yahyels can be known as unstable. Some, because they're not always aligned with themselves. So that's what many of you are warning, how to align to myself. To even get the truth out of somebody, how do I shift my vibration so I can get my knowledge out of a certain person or an experience? It is basically shifting your frequency level to manifest a more positive incarnation. Our world, yes, we're very connected to, yes, your sun, of course. Basically, we rejuvenate ourselves quite often. That's why some of the Yahyel look very young. And some of them are very old. Like you can have a 16-year-old that has the knowledge of a 100-year-old. Whereas it's very difficult for the mind to accept or take care of, but many of you have been in those positions. It's just basically the outsider frequency is very known within the Yahyel beings because the Yahyel do a lot of good on the planet Earth, but don't always get rewarded for it. It's different. This is not an easy incarnation as a Yahyel beings. Many Yahyel beings are musicians on your planet, shifts into vibrations that way. Mostly the water is very connected. It's similar to the Syrians, but it's much different. Which so the Yahyel easily gets pulled away by someone else's fantasy. Our worlds are not simple. They are, yes, more advanced to some degree, but still have a long ways to go. As a Yahyel, we are deep with the Earth's consciousness of we see your world, how it operates. Some of you agree to it, and we learn from you. And continue, we're going to shift the frequency levels to clear out Saturn's energy. Not yet, but it is in the works. Saturn's energy is very tricky because it's always trying to find a way to take over the soul. But many of you have found a way to cancel that energy out in due time. But as a Yahyel frequency level, yes, I believe we left or arrived home decent, not totally exhausted, because our trips on your planet are very intense. Well, is that we incarnate from ships normally on your planet. Usually do 100 or so at least. It's just seeing us might become more clear. Normally we're pretty skinny, depending on the being, but usually for space or Earth's combat. Well, don't call it that exactly, but basically we choose what kind of format we're going to incarnate in. The parent energy. So we're kind of like a fleet that incarnates on your planet. Usually it's, like I say, of 100, at least at a time. Some fail, some don't. So basically, a lot of us are in Brazil at this time, or all across the world, but a lot of us are in Brazil due to government corruption. So you can feel our frequency levels there. Yes, we are connected to AI energy. We're also here to assist humans so that not to use a reliance on AI technologies, at least over time, when the time is right. Once again, our frequency level is basically to bring a nourishment, a safety here of basically seeing us here. Some of you have been hybrids of us, and your hybrid lifetimes become more clear. Well, because a lot of hybrid incarnations are not easy. Your Earth incarnation can be quite decent, but your hybrid incarnation, your hybrid children can go through a great deal because your DNA is very important. And if you have hybrid children, obviously you're going to have a visitation from somebody. And healing the reptilian frequency levels just by being yourselves. Even by being yourself, owning yourself, meaning you own who you are, not to give it. Many civilizations have given and been destroyed here. Atlantis gave in eventually, then fought, but did not survive, as you can see. So, blessings to you from the Yahyel to you. Greetings. This is Archangel Michael. Blessings to you. There is this a domino effect, a transformation of Earth's power. Yes, there's not going to be the most positive incarnations for everyone at this time, but some of you are connected to the crystal energies of the Earth. Basically, to bring a positive transition to go into a more 5D reality. 5D reality basically is answers. If we do know what's happening here more clearly, not necessarily for gossip news and nothing like that. We just be able to become more awareness of who is running your planet. And there are kind of running scared from what I'm picking up on at this time. Not running completely, but some of are worried because basically some of you can feel their energies out. Those that are controlling reality here for your, it's just there's a massive transformation effort happening at this time. We're allowing more those to be unseen to be seen when the time is right. Of course, all timing. You're already seeing corruption being shown in the presidential frequency and more to follow. That's just the start. Nothing's going to be too quickly. Not yet, but darkness is slowly revealing itself. So yes, the arrogance, they don't care. They always win, supposedly. And possibly to see a lot of these politicians shift in more of a reptilian frequency level, especially when the candidate is not thinking very clearly. So that's where the shift mostly happens. Some of you have already seen the president as an Anunnaki being, from what I can see, with some of you released in your visions. As basically the third dimension is doing a release of, because it's running out of ideas. It has done what it's here to do, and it's running out. Yes, of course, it's not going to be a quick fix, but just it's all about connections we're going into. Where the third dimension is no longer as viable. It's still going to be valid, of course. It's necessary. You invite many beings here to experience this world. It's not quite done yet, but many of you are feeling this new age reality. Not necessarily new age as the word, but a new reality where you can see more of yourselves more clearly. Where past lives are easier to tap into. You just remember. If you start remembering past lives very easily, that means that the tests have been completed. Now you can know why you are the way you are. That takes time. Doesn't mean you have to know everything, but just enough to get you through this. So. What's this?